Hello guys, it's Philly Kuts with another comic book haul, and I got a massive haul. This is definitely my biggest haul for new issues ever. At least since I started doing this, these videos. Alright, we got a massive haul to get through. I'm going to try to get through it as quick as I can, but I want to say we're having a Secret Santa at my job, and my Secret Santa gave me one of my gifts, and it is now the official glass of my comic book haul, soon to be named series. And it's a Harley Quinn DC pint glass. I got some orange juice in there right now because I am retired from YouTube beer reviewing. Sorry about that, guys. I am retired from doing beer reviews. But isn't that great? I love this thing. Harley Quinn. And it's a DC original pint glass. And, yeah, I'm going to be rocking this in every video. All right, let's get started. DC. I got 4 different DC titles this week, and it's all because of Batman or Batman-related characters. And all I can say is, first, let's just say Darwin Cook, okay? Darwin Cook variant covers this month are just out of the park. Look at this Batman Superman variant cover. Dismantling the bomb. No, it's not a Nintendo. Look at that, man. That is just so amazing. I love that cover. Darwin Cook. So there's the Batman Superman number 17. We'll get back to that. Here is Batman, the regular one. This has Endgame Part 3, Batman number 37. And look at that. Another Darwin Cook cover. And it has just a lovely, lovely assortment in Rogues Gallagher's of Rogues Gallery of Batman villains. Scarecrow, Catwoman, Two-Face. I mean, look, just pause it and you're going to see like about 15 different enemies in there. Tremendous, tremendous cover. And no, but wait. And there's another one for Catwoman. Darwin Cook, I love this one as well. I mean, that is just beautiful. Under the Moon, Selena Kyle doing her thing, thieving, doves are flying, rings are falling. I mean, it's just beautiful. Beautiful, man. Just beautiful covers. And apparently, I think there's about 7 different Darwin Cook covers this month. And I was just so torn. I almost, you know, just as a sidebar for the Batman cover, I almost bought the regular issued cover because it had just a great cover of Joker. You know, his face is now intact. It's kind of back to normal. And he's holding that old Leatherface mask, you know, from Death of the Family, his skin mask. And he was just kind of holding it in that position and making it laugh. It was just, oh. And I was just so close to getting both. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. I can't do this because I have so many other comics I have to buy. And then I almost bought the Darwin Cook Wonder Woman cover, and it was just going crazy. I don't even read Wonder Woman. And I was like, shit, this is just such a nice cover. But thankfully, my wallet thanked me, and I put it down. So, Batman, Superman, number 17, new story arc, new artist. I'm loving the artwork in this. Adrian Syaf, or Syaf, it's S-Y-A-F. I mean, this guy is just an amazing, amazing artist. And then here's his version of the Joker. That's what his Joker looks like. And this is a Joker story in here as well. It's kind of a detective story. Batman and Superman kind of got to track down what they're calling Superman's Joker. And the first prime suspect is Lobo. They visit Hector Hammond, essentially, okay? If you don't know Hector Hammond, he's part of the Green Lantern universe. There he is right there. He's a brainiac-type fellow. They ask him some questions, and Hector Hammond kind of points them in the right direction. And says, well, out of all the probabilities over the clues that you and Batman have told me, this is the prime suspect here. And it points to Lobo. And there's Superman starting to get in a big scrap with Lobo. And I just got to say, Adrian Syaf is just an amazing artist. He's a new artist for this book, and I love it. All right, Batman Endgame, number 37. It's upside down, whatever. Part 3, basically the main theme. This is written by Scott Snyder. Capullo is the artist. I mean, talk about a team. Basically, Commissioner Gordon finds some old newspaper documents, right? Or old newspapers. And it has Joker from like 1910, 1930. And he's like, wait a minute, what's going on? How's this possible? And apparently there is a theme that Joker is immortal. Or at least he's claiming to be. He's making claims that he is immortal. And Batman is kind of going through a crisis himself. And he has to do a lot of positive self-talk in this issue to get it through. But there's Capullo's Joker. Love his Joker. Man, he's healed pretty well, huh? I don't know if there's continuity in this from Death of the Family storyline, but he has really healed. There's Joker's face, immortal face. There's Batman's I'm doubting myself face, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm just going to leave it at that because we got to move it along. Catwoman, Selina Kyle. In this issue, Catwoman gets paid a visit. I believe it's by Black Mask. I believe. You know, Catwoman's still kind of settling into her role as one of the crime leaders of Gotham. And I'm kind of, you know, mixed about how this is going so far. The story, to me, isn't very memorable thus far, but I'm going to kind of stick it out. I kind of want to see where it goes. Valentine is the writer. She's a female. So I want to just see how it goes because I really want to get that female perspective on a Catwoman story. And it doesn't even seem like there's a lot of action in this one. It's heavy, heavy, heavy on the dialogue, kind of like the opposite problem that I had with another book that I've been buying and I'm going to stop buying, which is by Image Comics, Rasputin, because that didn't have enough dialogue or conversation going on in it. And this can be kind of a little bit too much. Like I'm trying to find a cool panel to show you guys, and there's just not really a lot of action. I mean, the artwork looks great. I do like the artwork, which is by Brown. I'm not sure of the first name, but here's a panel at least. It's got like a very dark kind of Dave Stewart-esque kind of thing going on there. And you know that Dave Stewart is a tremendous, tremendous colorist of Hellboy fame. And we're going to get to him in this too. Batman Eternal, 37. We found out why Commissioner Bard had such a hard-on for Batman in the earlier issues. Why he was so out to get Batman. Well, in this issue, there is a rogues gallery of Batman villains. I leafed through it. Apparently, since Arkham Asylum has gone to shit in this series, lots of the criminals that were in Arkham Asylum are on the run. And actually, there's let me see, I think it was Scarecrow. It was Scarecrow. Oh my God, they're all like in one apartment together, holed up somewhere. It's like Scarecrow, Bane, and Poison Ivy are shacked up, right, in like this abandoned tenement, and they're trying to figure out a way to get the hell out of Gotham. Batman's trying to track down all these people that have escaped from Arkham Asylum, and it shows in the beginning as well how things are kind of going with Catwoman in taking over her crime family, and she gets in a fight with, oh my God, right in the beginning, Ghost Dragon. And my Lord, is Catwoman look, these positions that they're drawing her in. Oh my God. She's looking kind of sexy. I mean, I'm feeling all kinds of weird shit. I better put this down. But anyway, kind of a shift in focus in the story. I'm not going to tell you why Bard had such a hard-on for Batman in this episode. I think I talked about it last time. All right, on to Marvel Comics. We got Scarlet Spiders, which is a tie-in. It's a tie-in book for Spider-Verse. Basically, it's clone v. clones. You have the 3 clones of the Spider-Verse. It's Scarlet Spider, Ben Reilly, and Ultimate Black Widow. They found a planet that the Inheritors are controlling and are using their clone technology. Essentially, Inheritors are these group of beings like vampires. They're hunting down all the Spider-Men of all the different verses for their life force, their life essence. They talk about eating them. They just want to nom them up. And apparently they're immortal because they have this planet where they're manufacturing like these husks, these bodies. And whenever an Inheritor dies, his consciousness or his essence has one of these bodies awaiting it. And it just goes right back into the body, and there you go. And so these Spidey clones, they have run into this character he's named Genix. He is one of the Inheritors. He's this guy on the cover right there. And on this planet as well, they've had Tony Stark is like one of their security agents. They actually, in the previous issue, this is a 3-issue miniseries. In the previous issue, the Spidey clone crew got into a fight with this Tony Stark, this Iron Man. I mean, it was probably another Iron Man of one of the other verses, or it could be a clone, who knows. And at the end of the first issue, there was a cliffhanger because they were about to face Flame On Johnny Storm. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this turns out with Johnny Storm. And oh my God, sneak preview. Looks like Flame is on. He is flaming. And he's getting his face kicked in by one of the Spider clones. Spider-Woman #2. No controversy surrounding this cover. If you looked last month, they actually had to change the cover of the first Spider-Woman because her ass was in too sexually suggestive of a position. She was like all arched up, one of her spider, poses. Even though the men do that too, Peter Parker's always like contorted and in some kind of weird yoga yin-yang thing, but there was some, worry, some concerns, some complaints. They put a strategically placed emblem, the Spider-Woman logo, over her ass crack. All right, anyway, look it up. The stories are up there. Spider-Woman is on a protection detail. She's protecting one of the other Spider-Women, Silk. Problem is, the reason why Silk needs to be protected is that there's something about Silk's essence where she is just like a fly to shit for the Inheritors. The Inheritors are just like in love with her or something. There's something about her. She's just a magnet for the Inheritors. So one of the Peter Parkers tells Spider-Woman, hey, you got to get Silk out of here, and so that we can get these Inheritors off our tail so much. So apparently in this issue, I'm going to read you the tagline. Spider-Woman and Silk get split up, leaving Silk alone on her suicide mission. Spider-Woman doesn't look like she's in better shape, undercover in the most dangerous place in the universe. And it looks like they have a lot of interaction with the Inheritor. I think it's Moreland, I think it's Moreland. I can't recall. I think it's Moreland, but there's some interesting dynamics going on here between him and Spider-Woman. She's in a real subservient pose here, so I'm wondering what the heck is going on here. I really like the artwork. I believe it's of Craig Land. He really makes Spider-Woman look very, very sexy. I mean, I'm kind of really digging how Spider-Woman looks. And Silk. I don't know, something about dark-haired ravens. I mean, I'm sorry I'm being, I guess, a little sexually suggestive in this, but I don't know, something about Spider-Woman really drives me crazy, and there she is, bitch-slapping one of the Inheritors, which is always a bonus. You always gotta love a female bitch slap. Scott Snyder, Image Comics, Witches, #3. The main character has gone missing. Sailor, the 13-year-old girl, who is haunted by these creatures called witches. Is she going to get inducted? There's so many weird things going on in this book. Why is there on every page a speckled mess of color? Look at this. That's not camera distortion on my part. It's like they're trying to say that this is being seen through some sort of lens. I don't know if there's some omnipresent being, omniscient being, I don't know what I'm saying, that can see everything. And it's got all these blotches of color. But what is happening with Sailor? And the witches are just starting to come out of the trees. As you can see, there's a nice lovely mouth in one of the knots of that tree. And it's just a creepy, creepy book. It just gives you such a creepy, crawly feeling when you read this book. I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to read you a page of Sailor's diary here, because it's kind of creepy. It kind of sets the tone a little bit. Now, in the last issue, she developed a sore in her neck, okay? And the cover of number 2 was actually an eye opening on the neck, right? Like that old school Faith No More video where the eye is on the hand. And there was some old famous 1920 French movie where there was an eye on the hand, too. I don't know. There's a hole in my neck. That's what it feels like. A hollow with a second me living in there. A sick me with her own thoughts, her own dreams. All she wants is one thing, to go to them, the things in the woods. Sometimes I think I can hear her screaming in there, screaming for her parents. I can almost see them out there in the trees, waiting behind the branches. They have faces on the side of their heads to peek around at me. If I listen, I can hear their teeth. Mom and Dad think I'm crazy, and maybe I am. I hope I am. I pinch the lump, and it's just a lump, and it has no pulse, no teeth. I hope it's a tumor. Let it be a tumor. Please, be a tumor. Someone cut it out. I don't want to go there. I can hear their teeth at night, hungry. They go, chick, 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 chick. Bye, witches, man. Bye, witches. You'll enjoy it. New issue, or new series from Image, Rumble, and this has an all-star team, an all-star cast writing for it of Hellboy fame, BPRD fame. You got the writer, John Arcudi, James Harden, the artist, and Dave Stewart, the colorist. I mean, you can't ask for a better team. I mean, if you're a Hellboy fan or a BPRD fan or Abe Sapien fan, you know these guys. Basically, this guy on the front here, he's some sort of scarecrow god. And he ends up on Earth, and I guess from what I understand, you don't really know what is going on. There's no real backstory given. There's no anything to tell you what's going on. You're just kind of dropped into this universe. Boom! There you are. Figure it out. But I guess there's, undead kittens in here, hillbillies, sword-wielding scarecrows, little monsters, and I just love the artwork of James Harren in this, because it kind of has, it has just like a unique kind of cartoonish quality to it that I really, really like. And some of the faces that some of these characters make are just great. Look at this guy. I think he's holding one of the Scarecrow's swords. They just look great. Maybe I can get you a better one. Nice, better facial. Yeah, look at this guy. There's one of the hillbillies. You see him? Oh. It's kind of like a Beavis and Butthead look or something. I don't know. I'm going to enjoy reading this. I know it. Like I said, if you're familiar with this team, this wonderful team, the Dark Horse team, check it out. Do yourself a favor, right? Yeah. Another title from Image. We got Drifter, number 2. Basically, this guy's spaceship has crashed. He goes back to the scene of the crime with one of the sheriffs on this barren wasteland that he seems to have landed on. You know what it reminds me of? If you ever played that video game Borderlands, it kind of reminds me of Borderlands, like sort of like a also a Wild West kind of feel to it. Anyway, he goes back to where his ship crashed, And apparently he ended up in this town somehow, and he was in a bed for like 3 days, but it's really been like 3 years or something. There's some sort of weird temporal crazy thing going on here. I gotta say what I do love here, and I think that the artist Nick Klein is doing both the coloring and the penciling. I think even the inking, I don't know. But I'm a sucker for like purples and like blues, because it just gives a certain feel, a certain ambiance. I mean, they go to check out his wreckage of the ship, and they get attacked by groups of outlaws and bandits. Here's what they look like. Kind of like a sand people kind of thing going on there. But they get jumped by them. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this turns out. There's some cool sequence when they go under the sea. Kind of looks like... this guy kind of has an art style similar to Ferreira. He did Prometheus right now, Fire and Stone series, but looks great. I like it. Predator, Fire and Stone, speaking of. Dark Horse, this is number 3 of 4. Think bizarre buddy story, okay? The chief security officer, okay? He kind of took off on the ship, on the crew that went down to this moon planet. It's called, I think it was called LV-223. Yep, LV-223, and it was an alien-infested planet. They were searching for this lost Prometheus mission. This chief of security, man, he hot tails out, takes off on a spaceship, leaves the rest of the crew, which the storyline in Prometheus of this massive 4-title, I say this every time, 4-title, 16-issue story arc. Predator, Aliens versus Predator. Oh my God, Aliens and Prometheus. Anyway, he takes off and leaves that crew. There's a Predator that intercepts him. I can't remember if he gets intercepted by a Predator or if somehow a Predator was stowed away on the ship. Anyway, the Predator gets a hold of this guy, and he makes him go back to that planet because the Predator knows that there's engineers down there, okay, which is a race of people. If you watch the Prometheus movie, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to get into it on here, or else this video will go to 45 minutes instead of 23, where it is now. Predator wants a trophy. That's what predators do. That's why they're predators. They hunt, and they collect trophies of species all over the universe, all over the galaxy. He says, you're going back. And then this turns into like kind of this weird buddy story between the Predator, who's nicknamed Ahab. You know, he's got to get his big white whale. Guess that's why he's called Ahab, and the engineer is the big white whale. And they kind of form some sort of weird alliance. I mean, the Predator does have him under sort of, he has this electronic restraining cable that he keeps him under. But they end up, you know, slaying some beasts together, and they do have some moments together. This is written by Joshua Williamson. If you don't know who he is, you need to be checked. Because if you haven't read Nailbiter yet, if you haven't even taken a look at Birthright yet, or RoboCop, do yourself a favor. Ghosted. Take a look, man. All right. BPRD. Hell on Earth. Number 126. And let me see here. One of the main characters in this book, or one of the agents, oh my God, I can't remember his name. I'm going to look it up. It basically explores some of the connections that he's had to a prehistoric past. And in this prehistoric past, I guess he was some sort of tribal leader. And this has just, looks like it has some great, great sequences. Look at the cast. Remember who I was just talking about, right? In Rumble, right there, Arcudi. It's created by Mike Mignola, but Arcudi, I think, is doing the writing, the script. James Herron, Dave Stewart. So there you go. There's that crew right in here. And this just looks like such an awesome, awesome book. Look at this full 2-page panel. Monster Mash. There's one of our guys there, walking away from all the chaos and destruction. All the buildings are falling. And there is a lot of action in this issue. There are a lot of creepy, crawly monsters in here. Massive monsters. Monsters that are ablaze. The impeccable coloring of Dave Stewart. Campfires, roasted marshmallows. I mean, what more could you ask for, man? Criminal McCobb, 4 of 4, the third child. In the last issue, we learned that Cal, the protagonist, was kind of like this Constantine, like, demon hunter. He is the third child. But these little cherubic alien demon babies have Cal's arch nemesis trying to convince them, I think his name is Hammond, I can't recall. He's trying to convince them that, no, I'm the third child. And to prove it, see, here he is. They're like, show us. If you're the third child, show us, right? And to prove it, he goes all Hellraiser on him, right? He fucking rips off his skin. Ah, look at that. Oh my god. That reminds me so much of Clive Barker's Hellraiser. It's not even funny. And they basically tell him, you're a jackass. What the hell are you doing? This is a cool book. It really gets into the emotions of the character. He kind of seems to be having like an existential crisis throughout this series. Kind of like, what am I doing? Why am I here? Also, in the last issue, he digs up his dead father, and his father, which is like a rotting corpse, they have like a big heart-to-heart. Really, just some heartfelt writing in here by Steve Niles. I think he's also writing the October faction right now for IDW, which is another great horror book. And, you know, I love horror. That's my thing. But do yourself a favor. Check it out. My shop still had all 4 issues, so you could probably go up and buy this whole series at your shop, possibly, all in one shot. You know, if you can't wait for the trade, if there is a trade that's coming out. So check it out, man. It's pretty cool. And finally, Boom Comics, Hellraiser Bestiary, 5 of 6. Basically, think of the old school Hellraiser masterpieces where you get these different anthologies in each issue. However, the twist with this is that you get 3 stories, but one of the stories has been an ongoing story in which Pinhead, someone has hired, well, I'm going to tell you anyway, someone from the church, okay? Because Pinhead is the Pope of Hell. That's what Pinhead is known as. And if you don't know Pinhead, you don't know Clive Barker, you don't know horror movies, do yourself a favor and at least watch Hellraiser 1 and 2. They're from the late 80s, but trust me, it's just great stuff. Just do yourself a favor, watch Hellraiser 1 and 2. Pinhead is the Pope of Hell. Somebody gets hired by someone from the church, I think it was a cardinal or something, to get Pinhead's pins. Because they have some sort of powers or something. So $100,000 for the pins. These thugs, they actually did it. They trapped Pinhead. They used some kind of sacred, enchanted chains and ropes. They were able to pin Pinhead down and pull his pins out. And really screwed him up. But you know that can't last for long, right? I mean, look at Pinhead without his pins. He looks awfully funny, doesn't he? He looks like Jason Voorhees or something. Looks all Friday the 13th. But anyway, in this issue, he kind of gets his revenge, and he also is teamed up with an unlikely ally. At least that's what they say. And then the other 2 stories, I don't know what is going on. I know one of the stories has something to do with a hospital, and the other one I have no clue, because I haven't had time to look at it or read a preview on it. All right, guys, that's been my episode of Comic Book Haul. If anybody wants to help me out and kind of come up with a name, let me know. I'm going to be thinking of a name myself because I just think Comic Book Haul number 15. I mean, I'll still label them like that, but I think there needs to be kind of like a name ahead of it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe if I use somebody's name that they, if they come up with a cool name that I really like, and if you watch some of these episodes, you start to know what I like and what I'm into. Maybe I'll give away some comics, of my choice, of course. But I'll give away some comics. Mail somebody some comics, like 4 or 5 comics, or maybe a story arc that maybe I could mail that to you as a prize. All right, so let me know. Comment below. Let me know what comics you got. Cover of the week, no brainer. I'm going with Batman, Superman, the Cook variant cover. I mean, you can't beat it. I was torn. I was almost going to do this one, Catwoman, but I just wish they kind of made Catwoman a little bit bigger. She's so small. So I really, I just love that. That's just a great, great cover. So that's my cover of the week. And this is gone at over a half hour, so I'm going to go. If you stuck through this whole thing, you're the best. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. Enjoy your comics. Peace.